when people think of India, they think of places like Goa, Kerala. Why not Nagaland?
Nagaland is not made up of cities. We have more than 1,400 villages on top of mountains, on top of pristine forest, pristine water. We have one of the greenest village in Asia called Konoma. We have a heritage village in Kisama. People would think of Goa and Kerala. They are also, like I said, beautiful in its own way. But Nagaland is a state of its people, indigenous people, yet to be discovered very intimately and very emotionally. It is yet for the world and our own country, India, to come and experience Nagaland. The Honorable Prime Minister of our nation, Shri Narendra Modi ji, whom I call Guruji, doesn't forget a person. Believe me, not because of my size. He is somebody who holds his hand out first. He says, Sumo, aap kaise ho? And why I call him Guruji? The vision that he has is an understatement. India needs Modi much more than the cynical criticisms or politicking which anyone does. I think his commitment is beyond his lifetime. When Modi ji calls Northeast as Astalakshmi, the harbinger of prosperity for the rest of the country, I think Nagaland is one of them, and that is what we want to see.
आपने अक्षय कुमार जी की बात की और आपका बड़ा इन्फेमस जो ट्विटर बैंटर था उनके साथ, उसके बारे में बताइए.
ट्विटर में तो बहुत बड़े-बड़े लोगों को मिल जाते हैं. ऐसा होते रहता है.
Right now, a lot in conversation is Zubin Garg and his unfortunate demise. Why are there so many conversations and why are people so affected by his death in a way that there are conspiracy theories that he didn't actually die naturally? What is the reason for that? What do you think is the reason? Minister Along, thank you so much for having us at Nagaland House. It's amazing to be here and welcome to Humans of Bombay.
Thank you, Karishma.
But you were telling me offline that you're also from Bombay. What is that story?
Bombay, Mumbai has been my second home always. So I grew up there during my formative years and then had a lot of vada pav,
Yeah.
kanda bhaji, misal pav was also near only, and Mumbai has very good memories.
Yeah.
I lived in Malada,
Okay. Wow.
Chincholi Bundar,
Yeah.
just next to Hanuman Talao.
For how long?
Maybe around 10-11 years,
Wow. Okay.
on and off.
On and off. But you come from Nagaland, which is so beautiful, so amazingly stunning. And then to, talk about city life like Bombay or Delhi, where we're here right now, is a huge contrast. So what is your office like in Nagaland? Is it the most stunning, picturesque view?
First of all, Mumbai as a city is very different from Delhi as a city. I'm thankful to God that I could be in both the places. But Mumbai is a very, very lively city. It is a city that not only doesn't sleep, but also continues to engage every person. And it has got a different vibe of its own. Delhi is a very different city again. It is a lot of power, a lot of political play, and a lot of assertions in a different manner. But from where I come, Nagaland is not made up of cities. We have more than 1,400 villages on top of mountains, on top of pristine forest, pristine water, and lush green forest cover, which is more than 80% still. And yes, we have some other areas like Dimapur, which is quite warm. But other than that location, almost every place is beautiful.
Yeah.
We have one of the greenest village in Asia called Konoma. We have a heritage village in Kisama, and likewise. And my office in Kohima is obviously picturesque. It's very beautiful. You just can feel that you are sitting somewhere in a place which is very different from Delhi and Mumbai.
Yeah.
But every city or every place is on charm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the way you described it, right, it's almost like a painting. So I'll ask you this question, especially because you hold the portfolio of tourism, and it's such a big part of what you do, is that when people think of India, they think of places like Goa or Kerala. Why not Nagaland?
That's why people should think of Nagaland. If people would think of Goa and Kerala, they are also, like I said, beautiful in its own way, with its own coastal region, with a very subtropical, atmosphere where the rest of the world and the country have known them. But Nagaland is a state of its people, indigenous people, yet to be discovered very intimately and very emotionally. We are indigenous people, 17 tribes, major tribes, and also minor tribes, living on the far eastern corner of this country,
Yeah.
bordering Myanmar on the eastern part, where our Naga brethren are also living there. A land of headhunters and warriors, who were away from the civilization just 150 years ago. Civilization was very different there. We had our own ethnic, traditional civilization, sustainable civilization. And today we are at the threshold of a very modern world and where we have also come into being. But we love to preserve our traditional heritage.
Yeah.
We love our culture. At the same time, we are imbibing the new modern culture. So I think it is yet for the world and our own country, India, to come and experience Nagaland.
Yeah.
Because it can only be experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you think that, and you speak about this topic also, you have spoken about it, is that there is some level of racism that happens against people from the Northeast? And there are a lot of comments that people pass on whether it's the physical aspect or overall holistically. What do you have to say about that?
I believe most of the thought process of discrimination,
Mm.
Comes out of lack of knowledge. It's always out of lack of knowledge. Bharatiyas, Indians as a people,
Mm.
are actually very inclusive.
Yeah.
The very constitution of our nation describes its diversity and unity, which is very rare to be found anywhere in the other developing nations or the first world nations.
Yeah.
And the idea of the Northeast or Nagaland was very new
Mm.
to the rest of the country. I always used to say when I came to Delhi in the late 90s, people would ask me from where I am. And when I say it's Nagaland, they would think me as a foreigner
Yeah.
and even ask me, do you need a visa to go there? Or which land? Finland. Bharatiyas, our people can know Finland or Switzerland or New Zealand, but not Nagaland. But I think those things have changed a lot now.
Mm.
बहुत कुछ बदल चुका है. And the thought of, I put it discrimination. I wouldn't call it racism.
Mm.
Because racism is found in places like, Great Britain
Yeah.
or in America. But I don't think there is racism in India. It is only discrimination
Mm.
because our people are small in number. And also, we are unable to give the narrative here because the thought processes are quite different. Like you said, very well. You come from the city of Mumbai. I come from a place called Mogokchong, from a tiny village called Japu, which has got 110 households.
That's it.
And it's a 600 to 800-year-old village.
Wow.
So, in that small place, to come here and be able to resonate and amplify with all of you, it is only Bhagwan ka kripa hai, by God's grace. So, our people have been unable to amplify the narrative
Yeah.
of who we are. At the same time, the rest of the communities of our nation, which are large in number, big in number, just imagine UP. It's a nation in itself.
Yeah.
My brother Ratnesh Bhai comes from there. Just imagine even Bihar or Maharashtra. Now, to see a people group which has got very small eyes, who have a oriental way of looking, so the first thing that comes to their mind is Chinese or chow mein is what they know. They think that, or momos. But I'm grateful that our people of this country now loves momos in a lot of ways.
I love momos.
So I think it's only discrimination, but those things are now going away little by little, and then we are able to find a lot of our people mingling with the rest of the countrymen, able to sit together, eat together, respect each other for different food culture, different thought process, and yet be together. And we hope that it will be bigger, better, and more brighter tomorrow.
Yeah. You said something very interesting. You said you grew up in this very small village where there are 110 households, and that's a that's such a unique thing to hear about, right? And today you're holding this position. What motivated you to get into politics? Was it that you wanted to change the narrative of people from Nagaland and present it to the world? What was your childhood like?
Karishma, actually, I'm a politician by default,
Okay.
but now politician to stay for sure. Now, I never had any much objective
Hmm.
other than to serve my people. The depreciation of development in our state of Nagaland or my own region, my own constituency for once, we still have problems with good roads. We still have problems with many amenities or infrastructure which are there in the rest of the country. And our state has come through a lot of insurgency for the past 60, 70 years. Now there is peace prevailing due to the ceasefire, assertion of the Modi government, which has done tremendous changes. But the only motive that I wanted to be in politics was allow God to give me the grace to work something for my people. Remaining, life has just come about. I'm always ready to, humble myself so that I can receive the best for my people. And today, not only my people, but also for the rest of the country, so that we can do something good for our people in whichever way. And that is the only motivation. And that is a great motivation.
So, what were you like as a child? Were you a naughty student? And there's very little about your formative years on the internet. So, we've tried finding it, we've researched, but very little. Even your Wikipedia is very clean. So, paint us a picture of what's not out there. How were you as a child?
No, during my childhood, I don't think there was Wikipedia. And the internet was very, very slow.
Yeah.
Almost not there.
Mm.
We used to be very different that time. But like my childhood days, you are allowing me to remember that. I think I was a little bit naughty boy, but a boy who grew in a lot of, needs. You know, uh, my mother and we were in a rented place in Dimapur. We came there to study. I was the eldest in the family, and I was glad that I could study in a good school like Don Bosco School. And then, obviously, like any other young boy, you know, after schools would play around. Yes, unlike many people who are fit to play a lot of sports, I wasn't a, very thin or smart boy. I was rounded off even in my childhood days. But then I also used to participate, and I had good friends, good teachers, good teachers who gave time for me, good friends who are still friends today. And I think that has a very simple childhood.
Mm.
I would call it a very simple childhood, but had good memories.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And from there, where you said, there was also a need, but um, it was simple, and you were not the best student, so to speak. You were naughty.
Absolutely.
To being with leaders like our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, who you said that, Modi ji's government has done certain changes in Nagaland that have been progressive. How has your experience been with him?
The Honorable Prime Minister of our nation, Shri Narendra Modi ji, whom I call Guruji, maybe I've met him 3 or 4 times in gatherings or in groups. But you know one thing? He doesn't forget a person. Believe me, not because of my size and all. He doesn't forget. And then he is somebody who holds his hand out first. He says, Sumo, aap kaise ho? He looks into your eyes and then he looks through the eyes, the heart. And he says certain words which are completely different from many other people.
Can you give me an example?
In my last meeting 2.5 years ago in Kohima, during our swearing in after that, I don't want to say it actually, but when other times were also there, he said one sentence, which I'll tell at last. But what I would like to say is that my experience with him and why I call him Guruji, the vision that he has is an understatement by the word called vision. He is committed beyond all the ills, beyond all the criticism, beyond all the problems that he faces every day, to see Indians proud, to see India progress, to see India at the forefront of the nations of the world, which means India as a nation of the people. So, when you will talk about him with infrastructure development, it is also an understatement because all of his thought processes and policies are towards empowering the people. If you look at any of the schemes that he does, any of the policies that are being, built today, all this is empowerment of the people of India, here in the country or outside wherever he goes. So he is an embodiment of true leadership for Bharat and the world. So for me, I don't take him only as a political leader. We don't know whether the political community, we are the youngsters of the political community. There are so many seniors. Whether we will ever be able to make up to the commitment he has is the biggest question, not to him, but to ourselves. So I think India needs Modi much more than the cynical criticisms or politicking which anyone does. I think his commitment is beyond his lifetime.
Yeah.
And we will one day live in that commitment, see it being made true. And let me tell you the word he said. He caught hold of my hand and he said, Sumo, सुहाना सफर है चलते रहो. That was the one line word he said. So it keeps me thinking how suhana it is. It is not as suhana as practically we would see. But he also said chalte raho.
Chalte raho.
So I will remember this till the day I die, that my leader, my Guruji, the Honorable Prime Minister of our country, told me this day that. And it's a journey that we all have to make together. All of
Absolutely.
us in our own ways.
Yeah.
You have made me think a little bit more, Karishma.
It's a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
But those are some of the things that makes us remember emotions and at the same time commitment.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we go astray a little bit as human beings, it makes us remember commitment.
Yeah. So, what is your commitment? What is your vision for the people of Nagaland? What do you want to see happen? And what do you want to achieve to see yourself there?
See, Karishma, it's very easy to say what I want to see or what I want to achieve. But I think I has to be deleted. The people of Nagaland want lasting peace, first of all. There are some political, compulsions that are there, which are not only uh, politics of electioneering, but political issues of the Naga people. That which has been set through Atalji's time to Modiji's time has to culminate. That is going to give Nagas the trajectory as a community to be prosperous, to be, at the forefront of our nation, and to do well. That is one very important thing. We don't want any more of gun toting people. We don't want, those days where insurgency was active. We don't want those days when at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3, all shops are closed. Every people inside their homes cannot come out. We don't want the thought process in the rest of the country where people would say, Nagaland jana hai to wahan to aisa hota hai, waisa hota hai. The narrative which the youngsters and the people of Nagaland have built today to be wanting to be also prosperous like the rest of the world and the rest of our country has to be built. And whether that can be achieved during our lifetime or not is not much of the matter. But the impetus that people like me, and there are many of them in Nagaland, young leaders, young politicians, who are dedicated and committed to see Nagaland do well. And we need to work resiliently with commitment, with patience, not hold back, but keep on continuing to move and building that narrative and working towards a developed Nagaland. We as a people, the people of Nagaland, we need to come out of our own prisons, thought process prisons. We need to come out, be traditional, be faithful to God and to people, but at the same time, work hard. And I think that is something I would love to see Nagaland be. When Modi ji calls, Northeast as Astalakshmi, the harbinger of prosperity, for the rest of the country. I think Nagaland is one of them. And that is what we want to see. What I want to see is not more than what we as a people of Nagaland want to happen, want it to happen. And I think that's more important.
So, what do you think is the number one factor that prevents this peace?
I wish one day you come to Nagaland and stay there for a month. There is a big narrative and also a wound which need to heal in the right perspective. and that our people has to come out of it. Until and unless the people of Nagaland gets into the right perspective to build each other, we cannot just move ahead towards prosperity. And that has more to do with us and lesser to do with the government of India. But more for the government of India, our government, to be assertive towards this small people group called the Nagas and bring about a political solution or a settlement in whichever way it is possible. And for Nagas also to understand that we all are Indians and Nagas at the same time, working together as a community among the committees of our people and prospering together. You would understand it better if you would come to Nagaland, go around the villages, meet our people, both the modern genre of the youngsters, you call it the Gen Z, and also the older genre of our people. You will see the commitment of thought process amongst our people.
Yeah. And you appeal to that generation or multiple generations because you're so active on social media and you're known for your wit and your humor. And especially because almost 60% of the population is below 35, which is a huge amount, right, in the context of things. So, where did you get this internet personality? Or is it just who you are and you're on the internet?
I always tell my friends, in politics, it has to be funny. People have a different perception about politicians being always very serious. Don't smile.
Mm.
Or but we are all human beings. The position that we hold, I believe, is the position to be amplified upon in working hard. But the characteristic of the person to be able to have fun with oneself is, I think, a very genuine aspect. At the same time, being able to take criticism. So the internet personality is by default also again,
Mm.
but it is also by always trying to find the good and the funny side about everything.
Yeah.
So this has come about by the choice of the people of our nation who love me, and at the same time, my love for them, our people, to entertain them in the ways that I can do about.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, the most fun part of my life.
Yeah, just being able to have that dialogue or that connect
Oh,
in a non-serious way.
absolutely.
Yeah. सर आप आपकी बॉम्बे की कहानी हमें बताइए.
बॉम्बे की कहानी कोई इतना बड़ा नहीं है मगर बहुत दिलचस्प है.
हम्म.
मैं एक पीजी में रहा करते थे, वो भी दादर में, जो एक कोहिनूर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स कॉम्प्लेक्स है, उसकी तीसरे मंजिल में रहते थे. वहाँ करीबन 20-25 लोग रहते थे. बिस्तर भी इतना छोटा होता था कि एक करवट ले तो मैं गिर जाऊँ. और एक रात के लिए 100 रुपये लेता था उस समय. 2002-2003 के समय था. और हर सुबह वॉशरूम जाने के लिए बहुत रश होता था. 20-25 लोग रहते हैं, सबको अपना अपना नौकरी में जाना होता है, कुछ ना कुछ करना है. तो क्या बोलते हैं वो, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति में, फास्टेस्ट फिंगर फर्स्ट, उसी तरह फास्टेस्ट टू गो टू द वॉशरूम फर्स्ट, मतलब फास्टेस्ट संडास फर्स्ट, ऐसा होता था. उसके बाद वर्कशॉप करके नीचे जाऊं, वहाँ में आज भी याद है, एक बुजुर्ग सा आदमी आता था. वो अपना ठेला जैसा डबल टायर वाला में वो पोहा लाते थे। उसके सामने में एक भैया वड़ा पाव गरम गरम बना के खिलाते थे। उसमें 5 रुपए में मिलता था एक वड़ा पाव। वड़ा पाव खा खा के ऐसा हो गया। 5-5 रुपए में खाते थे। बस उसके बाद अंधेरी इस ऑफिस में चला जा। वहाँ एक मेडिकल ट्रांसक्रिप्शनिस्ट ऑफिस था, हेल्थ प्राइम इंटरनेशनल करके। वहाँ में नौकरी किया करते थे। वापस आओ, शाम के समय में मिसल पाव या वड़ा पाव खा के आराम से मजे में सो जाओ। सो इट वाज अ वेरी गुड लाइफ, मीन्स कांट फॉरगेट। और मुंबई के लोगों के लिए तो हमेशा प्यार है, हमेशा प्यार बहुत दिया है, साथ दिया है। यहाँ तक के सफ़र में मुंबई की लोगों की प्रार्थना, मुंबई के लोगों की प्यार और दोस्तियाँ, उनकी धीरज सोच यहाँ तक लेके आया। बहुत लंबा सफ़र था, मगर मजा में था। So it was a good life. I think that is where I could build myself in strength of character and thought process. And मैं हमेशा ये मानता हूँ कि मुंबई सपनों का शहर है, मगर सिर्फ सपने लेके आने से नहीं होता है। जो कोई भी मुंबई में मेहनत करेंगे वो जरूर सफल होगा। आलसी रहेंगे कुछ नहीं होगा। मैं इस विषय में भी एक छोटा सा बात है, जब मैं दिल्ली से मुंबई उस समय 2001 या 2 उस समय मैं जा रहा था, पहले बार मुंबई पहुंच रहा था, तो ट्रेन में एक बाबा था। तो बोला, बेटा कहाँ जा रहे हो? मेरे साथ 1-2 दोस्त थे। मैं बोला मुंबई देखने हैं। उस समय मुंबई नहीं बोलते थे, बॉम्बे बोलते थे। मैं सोचा कि वहाँ सड़क सब में वो हीरो हीरोइन दिखेगा। उस समय अक्षय कुमार। मैं आपको बार बार क्यों करिश्मा करिश्मा पूछता हूँ? आपको मिलके मेरे लिए थोड़ा बहुत जागृत भी हुआ है, बुराई के लिए नहीं। करिश्मा कपूर उस समय हिट था, तो आधा काम तो करिश्मा कपूर देखने के लिए मैं निकल गया था। उसकी कहानी नहीं बोलूँगा, बट मुंबई में जो भी मेहनत करते हैं वो सफल होता है। और वो बाबा ने मुझे कहा, साधु संत आदमी था, मुंबई में जो कोई भी आएंगे मेहनत करेंगे, मुंबा देवी उसको आशीर्वाद देते हैं। तो यही चीज हम लोगों को याद रखना है। भगवान परमेश्वर जो मेहनत करेंगे मुंबई में आके वो जरूर सफल होगा। सो मुंबई के लोगों को शुभकामनाएं, सबको शुभकामनाएं।
आपने अक्षय कुमार जी की बात की और आपका बड़ा इन्फेमस जो ट्विटर बैंटर था उनके साथ, उसके बारे में बताइए।
ट्विटर में तो बहुत बड़े बड़े लोगों को भी मिल जाते हैं, तो ऐसा होते रहता है। कुछ सिलसिले में थे हम दोनों, ट्विटर में एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे थे। So he also answered back. I'm grateful. कम से कम अक्षय जी हमारे ट्विटर हैंडल में भी वो जवाब देते हैं, तो अच्छा लगा।
क्या जवाब दिया?
मुझे याद अच्छा से नहीं है, देखना पड़ेगा। मैं सिर्फ अनुपम मित्तल जी का याद है मुझे।
क्या याद है अनुपम?
शादी.com वाला।
हाँ, हमने इंटरव्यू लिया है उनका।
हाँ, सिंगल्स क्लब का। वो बोला जब मैं शादी करूंगा वो स्पॉन्सर करेगा बोला। मैं उसको बांध के रखा, अभी एक्सपायरी हो गया या नहीं वो मालूम नहीं है, मगर जिस दिन मिल गया उनके पास आ जाऊंगा मैं।
हाँ, पूछ लीजिए कि वैलिड है कि नहीं है अभी तक।
वो लोग कौन सा वो चलाते चैनल में, एक शार्क टैंक।
हाँ, शार्क टैंक
की तरह नहीं होना चाहिए। बाकी अनुपम जी फर्स्ट क्लास आदमी।
We'll talk about Hornbill, of course I want to talk about that, but we'll do it in the outside setting. So that's where we'll go now.
चलेगा?
Yeah.
कॉफी पिए?
Huh? Yes, please. So we were talking about Hornbill, जो बहुत ही famous है festival, and it's very lesser known though in cities etc. Tell us about Hornbill और पूरे इंडिया को क्यों visit करना चाहिए Hornbill Festival.
The Hornbill Festival is called the Festival of the Festivals. If you want to see a complete traditional cultural heritage, ancient traditional and cultural heritage, with a way of life of the Nagas, together with its food, ethnicity, culture, arts, both modern and ancient. I think it is the place to be there.
Really?
From the 1st of December till the 10th, the government of Nagaland is one of the main planners for it.
Mm.
And I think it is the biggest festival of the Northeast. I don't say it by the amount of the people, but also being the mother of all the festivals in the Northeast. It has already celebrated 25 years, the Silver Jubilee under the Honorable Chief Minister Sri Nefurio, who is one of the main visionary leader who have brought it about. And then this year is going to be the 26th year.
Another question, right, which is right now a lot in conversation, is Zubin Garg and his unfortunate demise. Why are there so many conversations, and why are people, especially in the Northeast, so affected by this death?
Karishma, if you see one thing about the late artist, iconic artist Zubin Garg, first of all, he was the true epitome of a very humble man. Number two, he sang more than 38,000 songs during his lifetime of around 50, 51 years of age. And he could have been in Mumbai, he could have been anywhere. One of his famous songs, Ya Ali, you know very well.
Everybody knows, yeah.
You know, it was a hit song. But he chose to come and stay back with the roots. And he was a resilient man. A resilient man who spoke for his people, for the people of the Northeast and for the Assamese people in particular. And he is one of the persons, who amplified the very cultural, traditional heritage of the common people of Assam and the Northeast. He was available and he knew and sang more than 10 languages. And at the same time, he was a true Sanatani man. He never allowed religion to be a part of the aspect of humanity. If you call him, Bhagwan ka admi hai, wo bhi hai. If you call him God ka admi hai, wo bhi tha. If you call him Allah ka admi tha, wo bhi tha. He resonated humanity in its best form. He stood by so many of the deprived people, the widows, the orphans, the misrepresented people. And he was apolitical. He was non-political person. He would not, work out for neither the BJP nor the Congress or nor any of the regional party or so on. And his loss was a tragic loss to the people of the Northeast in particular also, and mostly for the Assamese people.
Yeah.
It was a very, very sorrowful journey, not only for him, for the one who has passed away, heaven is open, but for those who live with him. Many grew up hearing his songs, thousands and lakhs and crores of people. And you could have seen all the videos in the channels and all. It was not only the common people, the officers, the policemen, the bureaucrats, the politicians, and even the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Himanta Biswa Sharma ji, stood astounded, not as a politician, but as a big brother.
Mm.
And that was true respect. I think late Zuban Garg ji had, you know, won the hearts of the people around him.
Yeah.
He was a true color of the best human being.
So why are people so affected by his death in a way that there are conspiracy theories that he didn't actually die naturally? What is the reason for that? What do you think is the reason for that?
I wasn't there,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't be able to answer that. But there are people who can presume, assume, and also see. But I think the Honorable Chief Minister HBS Manta Biswasji has already assured impartial inquiry is going on. So I think the inquiry will say the result. But actually, people have, you know, loved him so much that they just can't believe that why it has happened like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's shocking and it's very
Yes,
tragic.
very true.
Okay. We'll move on to your personal aspects, which is so many different questions that everybody has in mind. And sabse bada hai your perfume, which everybody on set is also asking you कि कहाँ से लिया. What are your hobbies outside of politics?
परफ्यूम के बारे में कहेंगे तो आपकी सेट के सब लोग जाके खरीद लेंगे, तो सबको एक ही तरह स्मेल करेंगे तो भी ठीक नहीं है. So usually I go for a set of uh, perfumes. That is one of my liking, which I love to use. Good perfume and perfume that lasts. And because you know why, we end up meeting so many people, going to various places, perspire also a lot. And then, it's very important, I feel, that we should smell decently.
Yeah.
And I love especially smells that are out
Yeah.
centric, you know. A little bit of out is always good,
Mm.
which we call attar.
Mm.
So I think that is it. But not too much.
Not too much.
Otherwise it's too powerful.
Yeah.
So I won't say the name. That's it.
Trade secrets.
Yes.
Okay. You had also a very interesting thing to say. You said men don't have a lot of accessories.
I think men can be simple
Mm.
and yet be comfortable.
Yeah.
So for me, हमारे लिए तो कोई ज़्यादा वो ट्रेंडिंग होने का कोई संभावना है नहीं,
Mm.
क्योंकि आई एम नॉट दैट हैंडसम. आई ऑलवेज से आई एम नॉट हैंडसम बट आई एम क्यूट. सो जो कुछ भी हमारे शरीर में लग जाए
Mm.
वो पहन लेता हूँ. इट शुड बी कंफर्टेबल, क्लीन.
Mm.
वो ठीक होता है.
ठीक होता है. और प्यार के बारे में आपका क्या राय है? You speak very openly about being single online. So what is your opinion on love?
प्यार हर कोई को होना नहीं चाहिए. हिंदी फिल्म और कोरियन के ड्रामा उसको बहुत ज़्यादा एम्पलीफाई किया है,
Hmm.
और प्यार करने का नैरेटिव कुछ अलग ढंग और तरीका से बना रखा है.
Hmm.
हॉलीवुड का नैरेटिव तो कुछ और है,
Hmm.
मगर हमारे ख्याल से प्यार करने का मन में धीरज भी रखना पड़ेगा, और उस तरह का नैरेटिव से प्यार करने से जिंदगी सफल नहीं होता.
Hmm.
आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट आई एम अगेंस्ट लव. आई एम ओनली सेइंग दैट love can be described in many ways. And I think people need to meet the right people to rise in love,
Yeah.
not fall in love.
Rise in love.
To rise in love.
So how do you define love?
First of all, definition of love is cannot be like God and man.
Hmm.
It has to be human. God and man are two different aspects. But for human beings, First of all, प्यार में दोस्ती होना चाहिए. There has to be committed friendship.
A great man, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan sir said, "Pyar dosti hai."
I'm not a great man like him, but I also believe he is in the right track, and that's why his marriage is successful. Because if we are not friends, how can I be who I am to you and you be who you are to me? And it cannot be that, you know, the way I think you should think and the way you think I should think. It is not at all. Love has to be friendship, that we are able to express the person I am to you and you to me. And I think that can go further on.
Do you think politics and love don't mix well?
Great lovers are great politicians.
Why?
It depends on how you define love. I think Modi ji is a great lover.
Why would you say that?
If he wouldn't love, if he wouldn't understand what is love, how could he be so crazily in love with our people, the people of India? बुरा मत मानिए, प्यार का पागलपन का सीमा मोदी जी ने तो हद से पार कर दी. It is not you know the kind of love that you see in Hindi film or Bollywood or in Hollywood movies. But if the people of our country, भारत के लोग अगर इनका बेपनाह प्यार इस देश के लिए, भारत के लिए नहीं समझते हैं, वो निर्माण के ऊपर प्यार नहीं कर रहे. निर्माण किसके लिए कर रहे हैं? निर्माण हमारे देशवासियों के लिए कर रहे हैं. तो उसका बेपनाह प्यार है. And I think he loved so much that he gave up everything.
Yeah.
Just to serve our people.
There are different kinds of love.
No, there is only one kind of love.
Okay.
For humans. You can describe it both with female or women or with anything. But the very epitome of love starts from the heart. And that has to be very clear.
Okay. We'll go on to the next segment. It's a fun segment जहाँ पे हम एक sentence बोलेंगे. You have to fill in the blanks. Okay. Many different kinds of questions. First thing you want every Indian to unlearn about Nagaland.
That we eat everything.
Where did that come from? Especially जो dogs का subject है. Where did that arrive from?
खाने वाला सब कुछ खा सकते हैं. मगर it came from, again, like I said, lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge of the rest of the country and the world. नागालैंड में जाने से ऐसा होगा, वैसा होगा. लोग ऐसे भी पूछते थे कि आप नागालैंड में जाएगा तो आपका तो किडनैप हो जाएगा, या वो लोग ये खा लेते, वो खा लेते. ऐसा नहीं है कि you cannot give stereotype thought process for everyone just because of someone. अलग अलग खान पान हो सकते हैं, व्यंजन हो सकते हैं, मगर दिल्ली से ज़्यादा ऑर्गेनिक वेजिटेरियन खाना नागालैंड में मिलते हैं. बनाने वाले का थोड़ा कमी हो सकते हैं या व्यंजन बनाने का तरीका सीखना हो सकते हैं, बट आई थिंक इट इज जस्ट अ थॉट प्रोसेस.
So that's a myth.
Yes.
Okay. If you come to Nagaland and don't dash, you didn't really come.
If you come to Nagaland and have not experienced the villages of Nagaland, then you have not come to Nagaland.
You also play the guitar very well, लेकिन गिटार यहाँ पे है नहीं. है?
नहीं, ऐसा जसलीन का गलतफहमी है. I don't play the guitar very well. कभी अच्छा से सीख लेंगे तो मैं जसलीन और आप दोनों को बुला के बजा लेंगे.
बट आप शायरी भी अच्छी करते हैं, तो कुछ हो जाए.
शायरी कौन अच्छे हो?
सब जसलीन बोल रही है.
वो सब पिटपिटाने वाले शायरी है.
एक दो लाइन.
फूल है गुलाब का सुगंध तो लीजिए. अगर हम गुलाब के फूल पकड़ते हैं तो कम से कम एक बार, चाहे कैसे भी सुगंध हो, सुगंध तो लेना चाहिए. हा? फूल है गुलाब का सुगंध तो लीजिए, प्यार है जसलीन का, प्यार तो कर लीजिए.
Wow.
I had to modify certain things.
So Minister Along, it was lovely. बहुत सारी बातें की, लेकिन अगर आप 2 लाइन में जो भी हमारा ये एपिसोड देख रहे हैं, आपको कहना है उनसे 2 लाइन, आप क्या कहेंगे?
ह्यूमंस ऑफ बॉम्बे का जो पॉडकास्ट है विद करिश्मा एंड हर टीम, ह्यूमंस ऑफ बॉम्बे का जो पॉडकास्ट है विद करिश्मा एंड हर टीम, आप लोग जरूर देखिए। आप लोगों को मेरे बारे में थोड़ा बहुत मालूम होगा, उससे ज़्यादा मालूम होगा नागालैंड के विषय में, और आप लोग सबको नागालैंड आना है। एंड ऑल द बेस्ट टू द ह्यूमंस ऑफ बॉम्बे पॉडकास्ट बाय करिश्मा।
Thank you so much.